What's up, football fans? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the action-packed, adrenaline-fueled preseason clash between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams in Week 1 of the 2025 NFL preseason. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's preseason, right? Starters barely play, score doesn't matter. But if you actually watched this game, you know it was anything but a throwaway. It was a chess match of roster depth, rookie intensity, and coaching schemes that left fans with plenty to talk about. From electric performances by hungry young players to moments that made fans sit up and think, hold up, who was that? This game delivered drama, talent, and a sneak peek into how both of these franchises are shaping their 2025 season. Let's start with the final score. The Los Angeles Rams took this one with authority, beating the Dallas Cowboys 31-21, and while the scoreboard may not mean much in August, the way they got there was impressive. The Rams came out with energy and efficiency, especially on offense. Quarterback Stetson Bennett, who's had a rocky journey since entering the league, looked like a guy ready to stake a real claim on a backup role. He finished the night with 188 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and impressive command of the pocket. His timing was sharp, his reads were clean, and he looked composed against pressure. For a guy who's been doubted for his size and consistency, this was the kind of performance that silences critics and excites coaches. He hit a variety of receivers, kept drives alive, and looked confident on third down, which is often where young quarterbacks struggle in the NFL. Now let's talk about the Rams' running game, which was another storyline worth watching. Blake Corum, the rookie out of Michigan, made an immediate impact, scoring 2 touchdowns on short-yardage goal line plays. But it wasn't just the stats. Corum ran with vision, patience, and that trademark lower body power we saw in college. He wasn't just trying to bounce runs outside or dance behind the line. He hit gaps decisively and churned out tough yards between the tackles. Combine that with Cody Schrader, who added his own flair and even caught a touchdown pass, and suddenly the Rams' backfield looks a lot deeper than expected. Sean McVay's offense thrives when it has multiple running backs who can contribute, and from what we saw tonight, that room might be more crowded in a good way. On the receiving end, the Rams spread the ball around, which is always a good sign in preseason. Brennan Presley, a name you'll want to keep an eye on, caught a beautiful touchdown pass that showed off not just his route running but his ability to create separation in tight spaces. He looked like a guy who could carve out a slot role if injuries hit or if he keeps stacking performances like this. Drake Stoops, another rookie receiver, moved the chains a few times with savvy route running and sure hands, while Davis Allen, the big tight end, proved once again that he's a threat up the seam and in red zone packages. And then there was Connor Mumfield, who took a punishing hit over the middle on an 18-yard grab and bounced right up, showing not only toughness, but great ball security and focus. All around, the Rams' pass catchers put together a balanced, exciting night. Let's not ignore the Rams' defense either. Rookie edge rusher Josiah Stewart notched his first sack, bursting through the offensive line with raw power and speed. His get-off was immediate, and the quarterback had no chance. That kind of burst is exactly what defensive coordinators drool over in camp, and if he can develop his counter moves, he's going to be a real rotational weapon come the regular season. Cornerback Cam Lampkin made arguably the play of the game when he jumped a route in the second quarter and came down with an interception that turned the momentum heavily in the Rams' favor. What stood out was his recognition. He didn't guess. He read the quarterback's eyes and anticipated the break perfectly. That's the kind of instinct you either have or you don't, and Lampkin clearly has it. Switching over to the Cowboys, the night was more of a mixed bag. Joe Milton III got the start under center, and his performance was a roller coaster. He showed off that cannon of an arm, completing a few impressive throws downfield, including a 36-yard beauty to Trayshawn Holden, who made a tough catch in tight coverage. But Milton also struggled with touch and timing, particularly on intermediate routes. There were a few overthrows that left yards on the field, and one interception that came on a miscommunication or misread. It was hard to tell, but the result was the same. He ended the night with 143 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception before exiting the game late due to an elbow injury. The severity wasn't clear, but any elbow issue for a quarterback, especially one trying to make the roster, is a major concern. But it wasn't all negative for the Cowboys. Running back Malik Davis quietly had a very solid night, rushing for over 60 yards and showing off the kind of vision and burst that makes you think he could be more than just a practice squad guy. He ran hard, picked up blitzes well, and moved the chains. And on defense, one of the breakout stars was rookie linebacker Marist Liufau. He was everywhere sideline to sideline, filling gaps, wrapping up tackles. He played with violence and discipline, which is a rare combo in a young player. Defensive back Zion Childress also had a strong outing, leading the team in solo tackles and playing with a high motor all night. If you're a Cowboys fan looking for silver linings, it was the emergence of guys like Childress and Liufau that should have you feeling optimistic. Now, beyond the X's and O's, this game had some extra juice. During warm-ups, a moment between Dak Prescott and Rams owner Stan Kroenke caught some attention when Dak reportedly said, "We'll see y'all in the NFC Championship game." It's one of those moments that gets caught on a mic and makes its way to social media, where fans immediately ran with it, some calling it confidence, others calling it delusion. Either way, it's the kind of preseason chatter that gives a little extra spice to an otherwise low-stakes game. And when the Rams came out and beat Dallas by double digits, fans were quick to remind Prescott of those words. Another big picture takeaway from this game is how both teams approached it. The Rams looked sharper, more cohesive, and more intentional. Their offensive line gave Bennett solid protection, their young receivers knew where to be, and the defense tackled well in space. For a team that's undergone a mini rebuild over the past 2 seasons, this version of the Rams looked fast, young, and hungry. On the Cowboys side, there were flashes, no doubt. But the execution wasn't consistent. The penalties, missed tackles, and broken coverages reminded you that this is still very much a work in progress, especially when the starters aren't on the field. But that's what preseason is for. These moments expose the depth issues and give coaches the data they need to make tough roster decisions. And we can't wrap this up without acknowledging how entertaining this game was from start to finish. It had scoring, big plays, defensive stops, a little drama, and a few names that might go from unknowns to household by the end of the year. It's easy to dismiss preseason games, but if you're a real fan of the sport, you know these games are where careers begin and where rosters are built from the bottom up. It's not just about who wins and loses, it's about who steps up when the lights are on, even if it's August. So now, the big question: what does this mean going forward? For the Rams, this was a strong first step. If Stetson Bennett can keep improving, if their rookie class continues to produce, and if the defense can generate pressure consistently, this team could be sneaky competitive in the NFC. And for the Cowboys, they'll be watching Milton's injury closely. The competition for backup quarterback is suddenly wide open, and their coaching staff will have to evaluate whether they saw enough from him to stay patient or if another arm needs to come in. But beyond quarterback, they'll be pleased with the play of their UDFAs and rookie defenders. The pieces are there, it's just about putting them together. All right, folks, that's the full breakdown of the Cowboys vs. Rams preseason opener. Whether you're a die-hard Rams fan thrilled about your team's depth or a Cowboys fan eager to see how the roster shapes up in the coming weeks, this game gave us plenty to chew on. I want to hear from you. Who impressed you the most? Which players do you think locked in a roster spot tonight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss another breakdown. We've got preseason week 2 coming up, and I'll be right here with film study, player profiles, and everything you need to stay ahead of the curve. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, stay passionate, and I'll see you next time on the channel.